what just happened. How did a player ranked outside the top 600 walk into one of the strongest AJGA fields of the year and walk out a champion? Was it a fluke, a burst of form, or is this the moment where everything starts to shift? Because if Charlie Woods can do this now, at 16, against the very best of his age group, what happens next? One win doesn't make a career, but it can ignite one. And now, every eye in junior golf is locked on the same question. Did Charlie just flip the future of the sport on its head? Before the headlines, before the victory lap, Charlie Woods was, in many ways, a question mark. Golf fans knew the name. They'd seen the swing, they'd watched him stride down fairways with Tiger at the PNC Championship, mirroring every movement like a living tribute. But those were cameos, not campaigns. Glimpses of potential, not proof. In the world of elite junior golf, where rankings are cold and unforgiving, Charlie Woods was just another kid chasing a breakthrough. 5 AJGA events in, and the best he had to show for it was a tie for 25th. Meanwhile, at the top of the mountain stood Miles Russell, no one in the AJGA rankings, a player with wins, consistency, and a reputation built on dominance. If anyone was going to win at Streamsong, it was Miles. The field was stacked with talent, but Russell wasn't just a name, he was the bar. And when Charlie's name appeared on the tee sheet, few expected him to be more than a familiar face, a feel-good footnote to the main event. But while the spotlight burned elsewhere, Charlie was quietly evolving, not through viral moments or flashy scores, but through grinding, training, watching, learning. Every tournament, every cut, every hard-earned round had been shaping him into something far more dangerous than a headline, a competitor. And at Streamsong, that quiet evolution finally roared to life. He didn't show up looking for attention. He showed up with a game plan. And for the first time, the gap between potential and performance disappeared. Every swing was sharper, every decision more deliberate. While others battled the pressure, Charlie played like he had nothing to lose and everything to prove. It wasn't loud, it wasn't showy, but it was lethal. The making of a silent hunter wasn't about one viral swing or one round of brilliance. It was about the slow burn. The quiet rise of a player who stopped being someone's son and started becoming someone to fear. Charlie Woods may have entered Streamsong as an outsider, but he left it as something far more compelling, a problem. One that the top of the junior golf world now has no choice but to solve. By the time Charlie Woods stepped onto the first tee at Streamsong for the final round, there was a quiet tension in the air. He was within striking distance, yes, but the idea that he could actually finish ahead of the #1 junior golfer in the country, that still felt like a long shot, until it didn't. What followed wasn't a hopeful run. It wasn't a lucky stretch. It was a calculated dismantling of the field. Charlie fired a 66, lacing together 8 birdies with surgical precision. The front 9, a statement. Birdie after birdie after birdie, and suddenly the leaderboard didn't just have his name on it. It had his fingerprints all over it. According to Reuters, the final tally was 15 under, a 7-shot gap between Charlie and Miles Russell, the tournament favorite. Not a photo finish, not a narrow escape, a rout, and not against a soft field either. NBC Sports called this the strongest AJGA lineup of the year, loaded with the best juniors in the game. Golf Digest already predicted what that round would do to his ranking. Historic Leap doesn't even cover it, but numbers only tell part of the story. What really shook the golf world was how Charlie did it, with poise, with calm, with the kind of control you don't see in players his age, especially when the stakes get high and the cameras come out. While others blinked, Charlie kept steady. While the top names in junior golf scrambled to hold on, he pulled away. It wasn't just a win, it was a warning to every coach, every scout, every opponent watching from the sidelines. This is what happens when raw talent meets readiness. The name Woods had always commanded attention. But after this round, it's not just because of Tiger. Charlie didn't just rise to the moment, he owned it. And in doing so, he may have changed everything. Streamsong Resort doesn't give away low scores. It demands them. The kind of course where one misjudged line, one over-aggressive swing can end a round before it even starts. And yet, in a final round filled with pressure and top-tier competition, Charlie Woods made it look manageable. Not by overpowering the course, not by showing off, but by thinking through every shot like a veteran far beyond his years. There were no reckless heroics, no unnecessary risks, just a 16-year-old picking apart a championship layout with strategy, discipline, and poise. He didn't just avoid mistakes, he anticipated them, plotted around them. While others chased highlights, Charlie chased efficiency. Par when it mattered, birdie when it counted. Every decision seemed rooted in something deeper than talent. It's something practiced. That's the part people miss. This wasn't just a physical performance, it was mental. The kind of round built not just on swing mechanics, but on emotional control, on knowing when to push and when to pull back. According to the New York Post, Tiger himself said Charlie is forging his own path. And it's becoming clear that path isn't about flair. It's about clarity, confidence, knowing exactly what you're doing before you even step up to the ball. It raises the question, is this just raw talent, or have we been watching the result of years of elite mental training unfold right before our eyes? Charlie didn't win this tournament with swagger. He won it with silence, letting his game do the talking, letting his discipline set the tone. It wasn't the loudest performance of the years, but it might have been the smartest. And for the players who tried to chase him down, that might be the most unsettling part of all. Because anyone can catch fire, but thinking your way to the top, that's a whole different game. For years, Charlie Woods lived in the glow of a name that reshaped golf history. But what happens when the glow becomes a spotlight of its own? When the shadow doesn't just move, it strikes. That's what Streamsong just gave us, a glimpse of what it looks like when the next generation stops waiting and starts taking over. Charlie isn't just Tiger's son anymore. He's the storm that the top juniors didn't see coming, and now they're scrambling to keep up. If this is the baseline, then golf's youth leaderboard just got a seismic shift. Charlie didn't win a fluke tournament. He outplayed the best at one of the AJGA's toughest stops. So what comes next? College recruiters are watching with wide eyes. PGA Tour exemptions might not be so far off. And with his composure, control, and the name that still carries weight across every fairway, is it even too early to talk about a pro path? One win doesn't define a career, but some moments are louder than others. Some wins echo in ways that feel different. This one didn't just shake up a leaderboard, it flipped a narrative, because this wasn't about Tiger. This was Charlie's round, Charlie's tournament.
I was speechless pretty much at the time. It's always been a dream to play at the highest level and compete with the best players in the world.
For Dad as a caddy, I mean, his reads are a hook bias, and I don't hook as much as he does. So all my putts I miss right.
The rise of Charlie Woods and Miles Russell in junior golf has captivated fans and experts alike, as both players showcase incredible potential. While their paths have yet to fully intertwine in a fierce rivalry, their contrasting styles and impressive achievements are already drawing comparisons to some of the sport's greatest early talents. Charlie Woods, son of golf legend Tiger Woods, has quickly become one of the most talked about young golfers. At just 15, his powerful swing, polished short game, and calm demeanour on the course have earned him accolades in junior tournaments across the country. Though still developing consistency, Woods has shown flashes of brilliance that remind many of his father's early dominance. His most recent performances have solidified his place as a top contender in the junior golf world. Miles Russell, 1 year older at 16, has taken a more methodical approach to his game. Known for his precision and unshakable focus, Russell has quietly built a strong reputation through consistent wins on the junior circuit. His ability to execute under pressure, particularly with his iron play and putting, has set him apart from his peers. While Russell may not receive the same level of attention as Woods, those in the golf community recognise his potential to make waves as he transitions to higher levels of competition. Their recent participation in separate high-profile junior tournaments has fueled discussions about their potential matchups in the future. While Woods continues to draw headlines for his name and dynamic play, Russell's steady ascent represents the type of competitor who could challenge Woods as both players climb the ranks. Looking ahead, many are eager to see how these two young golfers will develop their games and possibly cross paths in marquee junior tournaments. With the US Junior Amateur Championship on the horizon, both Woods and Russell are poised to make strong showings, setting the stage for what could eventually become a defining rivalry in golf. For now, their story is one of immense potential, with each player bringing unique strengths to the game. Charlie Woods dazzles with his aggressive play and star power, while Miles Russell impresses with his precision and consistency. As they continue to grow, the golf world watches closely, knowing that the next great rivalry could be just around the corner. As the golf world buzzes about the potential rivalry between Charlie Woods and Miles Russell, the differences in their playing styles and personalities only add to the intrigue. Both young golfers are carving their paths in the sport, and while their journeys are distinct, their shared success on the junior circuit makes a collision inevitable. Part of what makes their dynamic so fascinating is how their strengths and approaches contrast in ways that could lead to thrilling competition. Charlie Woods brings an aggressive and exciting energy to the course. He's known for taking risks, choosing bold angles off the tee, and making creative shots around the green. Analysts have pointed out that while Woods' style is reminiscent of his father, Tiger, he's still developing the consistency needed to dominate tournaments fully. In a recent interview, a junior golf coach commented, "Charlie's ceiling is incredibly high. He's already fearless, and with a little more refinement, he could become almost unstoppable." Miles Russell, by comparison, is the picture of precision. His ability to maintain focus under pressure and execute clean, calculated shots has made him one of the most reliable players on the junior circuit. Golf analysts often point to Russell's exceptional putting as a key to his success. Miles doesn't just play golf. He calculates every shot like a puzzle, said one observer. This methodical approach might lack the flair of Woods' game, but has proven equally effective in earning results. Their recent performances also reflect their different strengths. Woods made headlines with a standout finish at a regional event, where his long drives and daring recovery shots helped him secure a top 3 placement. Meanwhile, Russell impressed at a separate national competition, earning a win by maintaining a steady lead through precise iron play and nearly flawless putting. While they've yet to face each other head-to-head in a major event, their simultaneous rise has fueled comparisons and debates about who has the edge. Off the course, their personalities complement their playing styles. Woods, surrounded by the legacy of his father, carries himself with a calm but confident demeanour. He's approachable but focused, often emphasising the importance of enjoying the game as he continues to learn. Russell, on the other hand, is more reserved. His quiet determination and professionalism have earned him respect among peers and coaches alike. As they prepare for upcoming tournaments, the golf community is already imagining what a direct matchup between Woods and Russell could look like. Both players are expected to compete in some of the biggest junior events in the coming months, including the US Junior Amateur Championship. The question remains, will Woods' bold, high-risk style prevail, or will Russell's calculated precision give him the edge? Regardless of who comes out on top, their contrasting styles ensure that their potential rivalry will offer something unique and captivating for fans. With both players showing incredible promise, it's not just about who's better now, it's about who will continue to rise and shape the future of golf. As the spotlight grows brighter on Charlie Woods and Miles Russell, their futures look incredibly promising, with the potential to redefine the next generation of golf. While their current trajectories have captivated fans and analysts, their rivalry remains more about what could be than what already is. Both players have carved out unique identities on the course, setting up a narrative that feels destined to unfold in the years ahead. For Woods, the pressure of living up to the name Tiger Woods is ever present. Yet, he seems to embrace it rather than shy away. His ability to handle the intense media attention at such a young age is as impressive as his skill set. Woods' boldness on the course, especially in high-stakes moments, has already earned him a reputation as a player who thrives under pressure. However, critics have pointed out areas for improvement, particularly consistency with his approach shots and course management. These are skills that often come with experience, and many believe Woods' natural talent will make him a dominant force as he refines his game. Russell, in contrast, doesn't carry the weight of a famous last name, but his steady rise has been equally compelling. Known for his ability to maintain focus and deliver under pressure, Russell's maturity on the course often makes him seem older than his years. His methodical approach is a stark contrast to Woods' explosive playstyle, but it has proven just as effective. Coaches and analysts alike praise his work ethic and dedication to mastering the fundamentals. Miles doesn't get distracted by the hype, one junior golf coach noted. He's laser-focused on improving every aspect of his game. As the golf world speculates about their futures, both players are gearing up for the US Junior Amateur Championship. While it's not guaranteed they will face each other, the possibility of a head-to-head battle has fans buzzing. A direct matchup could provide the first true test of their rivalry and give a glimpse into how their contrasting styles stack up against one another under pressure. Beyond the junior circuit, both players are already being watched by collegiate programs and even professional scouts. Woods' star power and natural talent make him a candidate for rapid ascension to the highest levels of the sport. Meanwhile, Russell's consistency and discipline suggest a long and steady career that could see him excel over time. The paths may be different, but both seem destined for success. The rivalry between Woods and Russell is still in its early stages, but its potential is undeniable. Whether it develops into a defining competition for their generation or simply adds to the lore of junior golf, their journeys will be fascinating to watch. With both players showing maturity beyond their years and a hunger to win, the stage is set for something special. For now, the focus remains on the upcoming tournaments. Woods and Russell will continue to push each other, whether directly or indirectly, to elevate their games. The golf world eagerly awaits the next chapter, knowing that these two young stars are just beginning to make their mark on the sport.
Woods and Miles Russell. On one side, Tiger Woods' son, carrying the weight of a legendary legacy. On the other, Miles Russell, a young star from Jacksonville, already showing a level of poise that left fans in awe. It wasn't just about winning, it was about proving who truly belonged on golf's biggest stages. The stage for their first real clash was none other than the Sage Valley Junior Invitational, a tournament that has historically been the birthplace of future PGA Tour legends. Past winners and participants from this event have gone on to dominate the professional circuit, and this year, the stakes were even higher. According to Golf Monthly and Golf Magic, the competition was fiercer than ever, and expectations were sky high. The world was about to find out who could handle the pressure and who would crack under it. Fans weren't just tuning in for another junior tournament. No, they were witnessing a potential passing of the torch. Charlie Woods wasn't just playing for himself, he was carrying the weight of a legacy built by his father's countless trophies, historic wins, and unforgettable Sunday Red moments. Every swing, every putt, every mistake would be magnified under the enormous spotlight he was born into. Would Charlie rise to the occasion? Or would the pressure of greatness crush him before he even began? Across the fairways, Miles Russell was approaching the moment differently. Calm, collected, and with a cold-blooded precision that belied his youth, he wasn't there to respect legacies. He was there to build his own. As Golf Magic reported, insiders were already whispering that Russell's game was among the most polished they'd ever seen at such a young age. And if Russell's confidence meant anything, he wasn't just there to compete, he was there to conquer. With the crowd buzzing and the cameras rolling, the question wasn't just who would win, it was who would seize their destiny first. Would Charlie Woods live up to the massive expectations, or would the unknown prodigy, Miles Russell, steal the spotlight? What happened next would shake the foundations of junior golf and leave even the most loyal fans in disbelief. As the first tee shots echoed through the pristine fairways of Sage Valley, the tension was electric. All eyes were on Charlie Woods, and for a brief moment, the dream seemed alive. The dream that he would rise to the occasion, silence the doubters, and put on a performance worthy of the Woods name. But as the tournament unfolded, it quickly became clear this wasn't going to be the fairy tale fans were hoping for. And just like that, hope turned into disbelief. According to Golf Magic and Yahoo Sports, Charlie struggled from the very start to find any real rhythm in his game. His drives were off, his iron play lacked the precision we've seen glimpses of in the pros, and on the greens, the putter just went cold. The result? A shocking tied for 25th finish. Far behind tournament leader Miles Russell and a field of hungry young talents eager to make their mark. The numbers didn't lie, but they told a story of a dream unraveling. Fans were stunned. Nobody had predicted such a dramatic collapse, especially after the months of build-up surrounding Charlie's growing form and recent flashes of brilliance. The son of Tiger Woods had been billed as a natural-born competitor, but here at Sage Valley, it looked like the pressure of expectation was finally too much to carry. Every missed fairway, every missed birdie putt felt like a dagger, not just to Charlie, but to everyone watching, hoping to witness history. And in those missed moments, a painful new reality began to settle in. And it wasn't just the numbers on the leaderboard that told into the story. Those close to the action could see the emotional toll beginning to wear on the young star. Frustration boiled beneath the surface. A slammed club here, a deep sigh there, moments of visible struggle that no camera could hide. It was the kind of tension you could feel from the gallery, a sense that the weight of the Woods legacy was pressing down harder than ever. This wasn't just a bad round. It was a battle with the expectations of a lifetime. For Charlie, Sage Valley was supposed to be his moment to announce himself to the world. Instead, it became a painful reminder that greatness isn't inherited. It's earned, stroke by brutal stroke. And for the first time, doubts began to creep into the minds of even his most loyal supporters. Little did anyone know Miles Russell was about to make the gap look even wider. While Charlie Woods struggled to steady the ship, Miles Russell was out there building an empire. With ice in his veins and a swing that looked like it belonged to a seasoned tour veteran, Miles seized the moment at Sage Valley, turning the tournament into his personal showcase. As reported by the Jacksonville, Florida Times-Union and Golf Monthly, Russell didn't just win, he dominated. And suddenly, it became clear. This wasn't Charlie's story anymore. It was Miles Russell's world now. From the very first round, Miles set the tone. His iron shots were razor sharp, his putting touch surgical, and perhaps most impressively, he stayed absolutely unshakable under pressure. Where others faltered, where Charlie faltered, Miles thrived. Each hole he conquered pushed Charlie deeper into unfamiliar territory, chasing a shadow he couldn't catch. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement, one that echoed loud and clear across the junior golf world. A new king was ready to claim the throne. And once the throne was offered, Miles didn't hesitate to take it with both hands. His victory was horrifying. Not in scandal, not in controversy, but in the sheer brutal clarity it brought. For every young golfer dreaming of glory, including Charlie Woods, Miles Russell's performance exposed a massive gap. A gap in readiness, a gap in composure, a gap in greatness. And worst of all, the whole world was watching as that gap widened by the minute. And it led to an uncomfortable question that nobody wanted to say out loud. Did Charlie crumble under the very pressure that Miles used as fuel? One moment revealed everything, not just who had the talent, but who had the heart. When you watched Miles walk up the 18th fairway, there was no fear, no nerves, just business. In contrast, Charlie's final rounds were riddled with uncertainty, second-guessing, and the body language of a young player realizing how far the mountain still stretched on in front of him. It was no longer just a tournament loss, it was a brutal awakening. This wasn't just about winning a trophy, it was about seizing a moment that could define a career. Russell's domination at Sage Valley sent a chilling reminder to everyone. Potential means nothing if you can't perform when the lights are brightest. And for Charlie Woods, who carried the hopes of millions on his young shoulders, it was a brutal glimpse into the harsh reality of elite competition. Every champion's path begins somewhere, but so does every downfall. As fans watched Miles lift the trophy, one thought echoed louder than any cheer. Has the next era already begun? And is Charlie being left behind before it even starts? The dust had barely settled on the final round at Sage Valley, but the aftershocks from Charlie Woods' performance were already being felt throughout the golf world. For Team Woods, this wasn't just a bad weekend. It was a reality check of the harshest kind. And reality, when it hits this hard, leaves a mark that's impossible to ignore. According to Essentially Sports and other outlets, the disappointment wasn't just coming from fans. Insiders, and even former players began to ask the uncomfortable questions. Was Charlie really ready for this level of competition? Had the hype ballooned too quickly, too soon? The whispers grew louder, and so did the doubts. What started as murmurs became a growing storm surrounding the young star. For Tiger Woods, a man who built a career on preparation, patience, and dominance, the brutal defeat at Sage Valley may force a hard conversation inside the camp. Charlie's development plan, once seen as perfectly on track, could be under serious review now. Was he being pushed too fast into the spotlight? Was the focus on high-profile tournaments adding more pressure than growth? The questions weren't just speculative anymore, they were necessary. When even legends must rethink their strategy, you know a serious crossroads has been reached. Fans who had flocked to see Charlie's rise were left with a mix of emotions. Sadness, because the dream of a Woods dynasty felt suddenly fragile. Frustration, because the potential was there, but the Polish was clearly not. And concern, deep concern, that the immense expectations were weighing down a teenager before he could even fully mature into the player he could become. The emotional investment in Charlie wasn't just hope, it was belief, and now that belief was shaking. Even respected voices from the golf community hinted at a reassessment. As Essentially Sports pointed out, the reality of elite junior golf is brutal. The margins are razor thin, and emotional resilience